A top-paid Celtic star loved by Rodgers is walking for free. Rangers' American takeover is rocked by fines, and a Leeds collapse. Kyogo's French move turns into a total nightmare. Cantwell's career nosedives at Blackburn. Dundee reveal millions in losses, with Strachan caught in the middle. Mind, if you want daily updates on our football, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, alright? Dundee are back in the big time, but the bank balance is feeling the hangover. The Dark Blues have just posted a £2.76 million loss for the 2023-24 season. That follows hot on the heels of a £8 million loss the year before, meaning their return to the Scottish Premiership hasn't just come at a cost. It's come at an absolute whopper of a price tag. So, what's been gobbling up the cash? Well, the wage bill's gone from £3 million to £4 million. Staffing numbers have jumped from 68 to 80. And the pitch at Dens Park got a bit of a makeover too, though at that point, you'd be forgiven for asking if they'd installed gold-plated grass. To top it all off, we've got the curious case of Gordon Strachan, technical director, club legend, and now, apparently, part shareholder. Instead of a traditional salary, Strachan took £144,000 in shares. That's not a wage packet. That's a settlement with a side of symbolism. Still, Dundee say all of this was expected. Fair play. Promotion to the top flight was always going to cost a few bob. The owners, Football Partners Scotland, are happy to keep writing checks for now, and the club reckon things should start to improve. Across 2024-25, we'll believe it when we see it. It's worth pointing out that Dundee haven't posted a proper profit since 2020-21. In fact, across the last 8 years, they've racked up a staggering £9.6 million in losses. At this rate, they might start charging fans for breathing at Dens Park. Now here's one for all of you with calculators and club scarves. Should a club like Dundee accept years of financial losses if it means staying in the Premiership? Or is this just another slow march toward a financial disaster waiting to happen? Fire off in the comments and don't hold back. Once upon a time, Todd Cantwell was being whispered about in corridors with talk of a £50 million move to Arsenal. Fast forward to today, and it's all gone a bit championshipy. After a decent enough start at Rangers, £1.5 million well spent, it seemed the boy lit up Ibrox with his flair and energy. The fans loved him. Michael Beale saw him as a centerpiece, and for a while, it felt like Cantwell had finally found his footballing home. But football doesn't wait around for vibes and potential. Under Felipe Clement, things soured and fast. A bit of a personality clash? You bet. Cantwell wanted out and handed in not one, but 2 transfer requests, basically shouting from the rooftops that his time in Glasgow was done. So off he went, packing his bags for Blackburn Rovers in the summer, a cut-price escape hatch that's now looking less like a fresh start and more like a cul-de-sac. From the Premier League spotlight to fading into the middle of the championship pack, Cantwell's only started 3 of the last 10 league games. At 27, that's not the kind of stat you want on your CV. The new boss at Ewood Park, Valerian Ismail, hasn't exactly rolled out the red carpet either. Instead, he gave the lad a very public reality check, praising his potential, sure, but also making it crystal clear, you're not a young talent anymore, mate. Time to deliver. And here's the kicker. The local press are now calling him a conversational lightning rod, which is just posh journalists speak for. Everyone's arguing about whether he's worth the hassle. So what went wrong? Was it the move from Rangers that did him in? Was it all hype and not enough bite? Or is Cantwell just one of those players who flashes, but never truly ignites? Did Todd Cantwell ruin his career by forcing a move away from Rangers? Or did Rangers ruin him first? Let us know in the comments, and keep it spicy. Well, looks like Greg Taylor's Parkhead journey is winding down, and not with a bang, but a quiet nod and a polite wave. Despite Celtic steaming ahead toward yet another Premiership title, and with whispers of a potential treble floating through the green half of Glasgow, the left back who's chalked up over 200 appearances and lifted 10 trophies packing his bags. All that for £2 million from Kilmarnock? Not bad value at all. Brendan Rodgers made it crystal clear he loves the lad, rates his game, rates him as a person, probably rates his Spotify playlist too. But love doesn't guarantee game time. especially when you've got Jeffrey Schlupp strutting in from Crystal Palace and Kieran Tierney practically walking back in with a halo over his head. At £780,000 per year, Taylor clearly wasn't just there for the banner. And let's be honest, he's been a steady, reliable figure during one of the most dominant spells in Celtic's modern history. 9 goals, 32 assists, 10 trophies. The man did his shift. Still, there's no fairy tale ending here. No final flourish. Just a polite thanks for everything and a door creaking open at the back of Celtic Park. Now, with the Champions League qualifiers on the horizon and new faces incoming, the boys are moving forward, and Taylor, it seems, won't be on that ride. If Greg Taylor had been English or Brazilian, would Celtic fans be calling him underrated, or are they happy to let him go because he was never really one of the elite? Go on then, have it out below. Things are heating up in Govan, and not just from the pyro smoke drifting across the Copeland Road stand. Rangers are right in the middle of a potential financial and PR storm, and it's all happening while an American takeover looms over Ibrox like a summer thunderclap. Enter Andrew Cavenagh and the 4-9 Enterprises, the NFL-backed powerhouse with their sights firmly set on owning a slice of the light blue. But before they can kick off any grand plans, they might want to bring a calculator and a fire extinguisher. UEFA slapped Rangers with a disciplinary charge over what they called a racist and/or discriminatory banner displayed by the Union Bears during a Europa League clash against Fenerbahce. That alone could lead to a partial stadium closure, a PR disaster, and, of course, a not-so-small fine. Add in SPFL sanctions for pyro displays, including a 500 ticket cut, and suddenly, the strongest asset Rangers boast about, their fan base, is looking more like a ticking time bomb for the bean counters. To be fair, Rangers are throwing around lifetime bans like confetti in an effort to show they mean business. They're clearly trying to clean up the house before handing the keys to the new landlord. And those landlords? They're now facing a pretty spicy dilemma. See, there's a catch with owning football clubs in Britain. EFL rules say you can't own 2. So if Leeds United don't get promoted to the Premier League, the 4-9ers could be forced to choose Ellen Road or Ibrox. Daniel Farke was confident that 4 wins at home would all but guarantee promotion and that sweet £80 million prize. But right on cue, Leeds drew 1-1 with Swansea and tumbled off the championship summit. Not exactly what the suits in Glasgow and California wanted to see. And now, with Athletic Bilbao coming to town for another European clash, all eyes will be on Rangers fans. One more slip-up and UEFA could slam that stand shut. Not ideal for a club trying to woo investors and balance the books. If you're a Rangers fan, would you rather keep your ultra atmosphere and risk fines and sanctions, or tone it down if it means attracting serious money and investment from abroad? Let's hear your take, and keep it fiery without the pyros, please. Oh dear, it's all gone a bit sideways for Kyogo over in France, hasn't it? The Japanese striker, who left Celtic in January for a tidy £10 million, is currently living the footballer's version of a nightmare gap year. Signed by Jorge Sampaoli, who was promptly sacked before the ink on Kyogo's contract had dried, the fan favorite has been left warming the Rennes bench under new boss Habib Beye. On Sunday night, things reached peak awkward. Rennes were cruising to a 3-0 win over Angers when Beye decided to bring Kyogo on. In the 91st minute, that's not a substitution. That's a public reminder that you're not really part of the plan. To be fair, Rennes are now 8 points above the drop zone, so maybe Baye's doing what he thinks is best. But for Kyogo, 1 start, 5 appearances, 0 goals. That's not the dream move. That's a cautionary tale. And yet, despite all this, Kyogo's still showing love for the green and white. In a League One Q&A, when asked about his favorite Japanese players, he didn't just go with safe choices like Kubo or Kagawa. No, he lit up when Nakamura's name came up, calling the former Celtic maestro the best of all time. If that's not a love letter to Parkhead, I don't know what is. It's clear Kyogo still holds Celtic close to his heart, and judging by his Rennes situation, the feeling might be mutual among fans wondering if they should have fought harder to keep him. Did Kyogo abandon Celtic too soon, or did the club cash in at just the right moment before the magic wore off? Let's hear your verdict. Comment below what you think about the news. Don't forget to leave a like on the video to help me out. I post videos every day talking about our Scottish football, so if you're not subscribed, you're missing out on the latest news. See you soon.